All right. Good morning, Panther fans. That was about 5 seconds worth. I'm hurt. I'm injured. I'm hurt. That's it. I'm done. That's all I could do. I tried to gut it out. I came out on the ice. I did a good morning, and then that's it. I'm off. So Stu, you're the replacement.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I didn't tell you or anybody. Well, I told you, but I didn't tell the audience there that I had a little episode at the U2 concert.
Yeah.
I'll just explain. So, you guys probably know that I have, herniated disc in my lower back, and occasionally it flares up on me. And so, my buddy got general concert. So
Uh-oh.
U2 was supposed to come on at 8:30. So in order for us to get, you know, in the pit, everybody wants to be close to the stage. We decided we wanted to be in the back of the pit because we wanted the visuals.
Right.
I should probably send you a link and have you, put the link there to one of my videos.
Yeah.
Anyway, incredible show, amazing. I think I told you guys the visuals in this sphere is just insane. Anyway, so we're waiting about an hour and 45 minutes for the band to get on because, again, we want to keep our spot. So I'm standing the whole time.
Mm.
And then the band comes on, and then, like, probably a half an hour, 45 minutes into the show, Mike Tyson does a number on my back. Like,
Yeah.
boom, boom. That's it. My
Yep.
back just
Locks up.
incredible pain. I grabbed onto my friend Brian, and I, like, collapsed. And the next thing you know, I'm like, I got to get out of here. And
Right.
this is like one of my favorite bands playing like my favorite album. And I go through the tunnel and I find two EMTs. And they
Right.
take me into this, wasn't a tent, it was a lounge. And, blah, blah, blah. And then, they want to take my blood pressure and, asking me whatever. I said, listen, I'm okay. I
Yeah.
just am having some really bad back spasms, like
Right. Right.
really
Right.
bad.
Yeah.
So one of the MCs, she says, "Well, I don't know what to do for you. I mean, I have a cold pack and a hot pack, and I'm wondering, what should I do? I don't really think, it's muscular more
Yeah.
than my discs, because what happens is because the discs are compressed and your back is weak, the muscles spasm up to kind of keep your
Right.
body up.
Yeah.
Anyway, I chose the hot pack. It helped a little bit,
Yeah. Smart
but let's
choice.
just put it this way." I missed Lady Gaga, came on for 3 songs, right? And I missed a lot of the second part of the show. I think I finally decided to like get up, and I ended up being, not with my friends, but in the tunnel with the EMTs came out and hung out with me. So I did catch
Yes.
the end of the show, but
Right.
anyway, I'm a mess. I'm going to see the pain management doctor, and I'm going to go for a new MRI because they want to give me an epidural. They think that's going to help, but I'm
Right.
eventually going to need surgery, like I
So
did.
so if I'm out and you're out, I guess Kulikoff's in. Is that what we got? That's it.
That's a good one.
Because you're Forsling. You're usually pretty stout. I'm Ekblad. I'm always hurt. So they're used to me bitching. So I guess we're gonna have to have Kulikov come up. So I mean, I can't even be disappointed about last night, man. You know what I mean? Um, Considering the injuries and considering how Boston, Montgomery was like, this is not just one of 82. Our summer was miserable because of these guys and all of that. And by the way, in the chat, good morning, AJ. Good morning, Jackson. Thanks for joining us. But I can't even be mad. Um, I'm more concerned with the injury situation and getting some. I mean, for that first period with Sam Bennett on the ice, it was like there's the team. Everything is right in the world, and I don't know what I've not seen, and then I'll let you comment on this. I can't remember seeing a hockey team, that was so Jekyll and Hyde based on one player's absence.
Absolutely. I texted you that is this our team?
Right.
But we've been saying it pretty much every video.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Bennett to get back. Can't wait for Bennett to get back. I mean, again, he not only his presence, the conformity of the lines. Anyway, I just my take on this game last night. When we're healthy, just imagine when we get Montour and Ekblad back and Bennett. If we could, again, I said it in the last video, we stay healthy, we're going places.
Yeah.
I was really impressed. I mean, it was definitely Dr. Jekyll. Excuse me. I mean, we really came out and took it to them. You know, and Reinhard Barkov Rodriguez obviously is, the key ingredient in that mix, but those two were really starting to that mental. Yeah. I know where you are.
Yep.
You know where I am.
Yeah.
So 2-0. So, one thing that kind of went unnoticed that relates to the Ekman Larson hit, McAvoy did the same shit with Verhaeghe.
Yeah,
got away with it.
Yeah.
Same thing. In fact, Maurice made a comment post-game about it.
Is that right?
So, the referees kind of let them play last night, but there were definitely infractions on both ends.
Yes.
That didn't get called.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it's funny because before that happened, I made a comment in the third period. I said, it's unless somebody does something really, obnoxious, hopefully the refs have put their whistles away, and they did. Except for, they had to call that. Obviously, that's just shitty.
We'll get to that. Bob was incredible.
Yeah.
Can't ask for more than what he's doing game in, game out. He's been the steady rock out there. Yeah. Again, I thought we played, good. There were moments when, in that first period, we could have had 2 or 3 more goals, and Omar made some fantastic saves. One on Verhaeghe that was like, oh, if he had just lifted it another 6 inches, that's in.
Right.
Rodriguez had a unbelievable pass by Barkov.
Yeah.
And couldn't connect on that.
Right.
So, all right. So we go to the second period. Typical. My number one hated player in the league forever, whose name I won't even mention. I'll just call him the Rat.
Yeah.
Who I want to see get squished one day, but we don't have Gudis anymore. I think the puck went off Forsling more than it went off Marchand's stick.
Yeah, it went off Forsling's skate.
Yeah, and it just kind of squirted in there. It just,
what are you gonna do?
Not good.
Right.
And as far as the second goal, I kind of saw that coming, but the key play for me was obviously Bennett getting hurt.
Yeah.
And I people are saying now he was walking, the ankle, he was walking around. But I thought it was a knee for sure. But we'll see what happens. But he's definitely going to be out probably at least 4 weeks. I'm telling you, he's out at least 4 weeks.
I said in the recap last night, 2 to 4. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong, but
they're not going to rush him. They're not going to rush him back. And who knows? Who knows if he re-injured the injury, since they don't say it anymore. What the hell?
Well, we don't know. Because we saw before the season, they said he was in a walking boot. And then when he got hurt they said it was a different injury than the one he started with the season. And now this was just like he lifts. I watched it, and from what I saw, it was almost like Bennett lifted up the player's leg with his stick a little bit. It's just unfortunate. And the fact that he got up and he was walking around, okay, but if you got a sprained ankle, you can usually walk straight. You know what I mean?
Of all the players. And you know what? He was playing so good. That line was playing so good.
I know.
Chucky came alive.
Chucky came alive.
Came alive.
Yep.
No, it's a big blow. It sucks. But hey.
I gotta say though, and I said this last night in a recap, Okay, look, it's like Bennett, whenever, but in the interim, Lundell, Verhage, Chuck have to figure it out. Now, the one game they got, Chucky got his goal, and Lundell was in front screening the goalie on that goal. So, I seen a lot of criticism of Lundell last night on Twitter and about freaking, exploded my head because just like, yes, I understand that he's not getting the points right now, okay? But the 1 year that he was with consistent line mates in his rookie season and that President's Trophy year, that style suited him. He had success. Since then, it has either been he's on the third line with whoever's getting demoted or the rookies, or he's moved up because of injuries and he doesn't have chemistry with the guys that he gets moved up with. And but it's they've got to figure that line out. And like I said, the one game that they had, they did look good. It's just hard because you've got Lundell and Verhage who are not really going to be physical, let's be honest. And then you've got Chucky on that line, and he can't do it all himself. So, Bennett, that's why Bennett and Kachuk work so well, because Bennett will go into the corners and do all that dirty work and get the puck out to Chucky. Somebody that they're going to have to figure out a way to make that damn line
You're right.
work.
They're going to have to figure it out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I thought the third line played good. I thought the fourth line played good. I thought, again, Lundberg, I don't know what happened in one or two games there, but he's back to himself.
Right.
It's just frustrating because we really took it to him last night, and then the hit.
Right.
I mean,
I know.
It looked worse watching the replays, especially the slow-mo replays, and then someone posted a still shot on Twitter where you could see he's like elbow to the head. I mean,
That's
not
right.
If that's not a suspension.
No, it has to be. Even Bruins fans were saying that. He casually skates by him, and literally, it wasn't
No. He didn't casually step. He targeted him. He took at least 4 or 5 strides. He knew what he was doing. That was intent to injure.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing. When I say casually, what I mean is he was looking away. You know what I mean? He was trying to pretend like he wasn't even looking, and then he lifts up the elbow, and that shit.
That's why these guys, the league, if they had some balls, they'd start giving these guys 10-game suspensions, any hit to the head, and then anything worse, like that Rasmussen hit, the Edmonton on Patrick Laine, that should have been 10 games.
Yeah,
that's the only way this thing's gonna stop.
Right.
So we get a 5-minute.
Yeah. Let's
power play.
Let's vomit up that because that is really why we lost.
That's the game. That's the game right there. I mean, how could you not score at least one goal?
Right.
I mean, a major penalty. You have an unlimited amount of time to score as many goals as or power plays. Really bad.
And
they're just indecisive. They don't move it around quick enough. They don't shoot enough.
Right.
I mean, they should be firing pucks from the point. Obviously, Ekman Larson wasn't out there, but they tried to 5 forwards. That doesn't work. They need Forsling out there.
Right.
Okay. He's got good hockey IQ. He knows where to go with it, and he could shoot the freaking puck from. That's what they need. They need pucks getting through, a tip in, a rebound. That's how you score on the power play.
Right. Well, that's where we miss Brandon Montour big time. 73 points. And we're gonna have to figure this whole thing out. I know that we're treading water and it's fine. We got a point in Boston and Bob's playing well and all of that.
You want to talk about overtime?
Oh yeah. Well,
My observations on overtime, same thing. Very tentative.
Yeah.
And this going in the zone and passing back and forth and then going out of the zone. I mean, you got to attack in overtime. And, you come up, I mean, I'm sure these guys practice stuff.
Right.
I mean, the object is to, you're 3-on-3. So the object is you have the one guy on you. The object is to try and get another guy to kind of move towards you. And then you find the open guy. I mean, there were at least 2 times when guys could have taken shots. And again, my theory is roof it. Just keep, even if you shoot it over the net, just roof it. Because these guys can't make that save. Anyway, Linkus doesn't put the puck on net. Of course, it scoots around and Zaka takes off. And you know what? On that play, I have to fault Bob.
Yeah.
Bob stayed too close in his net. He should have came way. It was a clear breakaway. Bob should have came out and challenged him, and he didn't. And of course, Zaka put a great shot.
It was perfectly placed.
So it sucks. You're right. I'll take the point, but we should have had the win.
Yeah. Well, and then as you move forward, especially without Bennett, like people giving Luosterainen a little bit of grief, and it's like, no disrespect to those guys, but Lomberg and Cousins are not exactly the pair you want as your third line wingers. There's not a lot of finish there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Luosterainen for me has just been not the same player as last year. And you're right. It might be because of, getting moved around a lot, not really playing with the same people. But you know what? It's called adapting. And that happens, that happens in the NHL. You have to know how to adapt and play with other players and whatnot. But he just, I'm not going to say he looks like a shell of himself, but I think he's at 70% of what we know he can do. Lundell, he's at about 80%. Those 2 guys, we need them, and they're not playing up to their the standards that we're used to.
Right. No, look, I get it. I understand where the criticism is coming from. To me, I look at it, and I look at Lundell, and we're on 8 games, right? Okay. So in the 8 games, he's played at 2C, 1 full game and a half a game. Okay. So that leaves the 6 games at 3C, where he had 2 with Samoskevich, who's a rookie, 3 with Sordiff, who's a rookie. And Lundell's only 22 himself. So, on one hand, you're right. If Lundell, if it was like Lundell, Barkov, and Rodriguez, and Lundell was not making anything happen, then you could say, okay, well, we got a problem. But asking a 22-year-old center to carry rookies on his line,
that's why
so early in the season. You got. I'm not going to rip Lundell.
Lundell with Verhaeghe and Kachuk, they just got to work. They just got to work things out, because that's the line. We know Lundell is a great player, and Barkov Jr. So once those guys get it together, we'll be okay. But it's just
right. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Sean,
I thought the defense. There were that second goal. There was a missed assignment. I don't know what else you want to call it, but
look, here's what I see. We got no Ekblad, we got no Montour, we got no Bennett, and we're basically giving up 2 goals a game.
That's Bob.
Right.
Bob.
Right. But the point is that, well, I don't know if you saw the stats. Money Puck put out the pairs, the rankings of the pairs. Did you see it?
Forsling and Ekblad, and Forsling and Larson are number 1.
No, guess who's number? You're not going to believe me when I tell you.
Kulikov and what's his face? No?
Number 3 is Mahura Balinskis,
Wow.
5 is Ekblad and Larson. But guess who was
You
half
mean
the
Forsling and Larson?
Forsling and Larson. Guess who was half of the number 2 ranked pair? Gudis.
Yeah.
So I mean, I saw that and I'm like, man, stats. It just goes to show you can prove anything with stats, because I don't think anybody's going to call Mahura Balinskis the 3rd best pair in the NHL, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's an absolute mess, and it just keeps getting worse because we keep losing guys.
We just have to keep. We're gonna lose games, but we have to win games. I mean, again, I'd like to see us be a little over 500, but those guys are coming back soon.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm hoping that we're, right now we're treading water.
Right.
And when those guys get back, we'll be.
And look, when you look at it, because if I look at the standings,
but again, a team that goes on a 6-0 run, 7 in a row, whatever. I mean, look at Boston; they're now 8-0-1. I don't even think. I mean, we could beat that team. I know it. I mean, we showed total dominance in the first period last night.
The question's really going to be, because the Red Wings won, the Canadians won. Are the Red Wings and Canadians really going to keep that up? Because right now it's Bruins, Red Wings, Canadians.
I told you, watch out for the Red Wings this year.
Once you get past that, the Leafs have 11 points. The Lightning have 11 points, and we have 9, but we've got 1 fewer game than the Lightning. And then over in
who lost last night?
Over in the Metro.
Who lost last night to Seattle?
Did they?
4-3. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we are not playing ourselves out of a spot. That's the point I'm making. We're within a point of the wild card. I know it's early, but the point is to just stay within striking distance,
which is what we said in the beginning.
Which is the year started. It's better than we did last year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm waiting, and hopefully we get everybody back. I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
We could easily go on a 6-7 game winning streak.
Sure. And I just want to remind people, because I saw some people worried. I saw Nerfel, saw a couple other people worried about we're going to go back to the winning 2, losing 1 thing. That's like 104-point pace. So I'll take it. Okay, that's like 50-32 or 50 like 30-2. It's like 102-point pace if you win 2, lose 1. So I'm good with that. I'll take it. I don't have to have 8 straight wins if you don't lose a bunch in a row. So,
So
it's just frustrating.
But listen. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything more. We kind of know what we need to do.
Right.
I mean, Detroit and Chicago. So Goldie made a comment about where 9-0. The last we've beat Detroit the last 9 games. So I'm looking at that game as another situation where, just like Boston, Detroit's going to want to stick it to us. So watch out for that game. And then you got Chicago with Connor Bedard at home. That's another one. So
I have a question.
Really got to bring it. All right, last comment.
No, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Because once you say the pairs under this, you might want to. You get queasy. If Larson is out, who do we put up top with Forsling? And then what's the rest of the deal? And don't swallow when you're thinking about it, because it's ugly, bro.
Well, let's go. Let's just. He obviously went off for concussion protocol,
right?
And again, looking at the slow-mo replay, I mean, he got clocked. I'm thinking he might be out a few games.
Right.
They might not want to take a chance. So I don't know the answer to that. I really
I
don't.
mean, because if you look at it, if you go Forsling, Mikula, then you've got Mahura,
I think it's gonna
Kulikov.
be. I think it's gonna be Kulikov.
You think it'll be Kulikov?
Yep.
Ah.
Yep.
And then
The
so
grizzly old
Forsling,
vet. I think it's gonna be Kulikov.
Kulikov, Mikula, Mahura, and then Belinsky's and Riley. Ay. What do you'd have to no, you can't do that. You'd have to move like Belinsky's up next to Mikula. It's not good. No matter what you do, it's ugly. No matter what you do, once you get to the next two pairs.
And what sucks is it was unnecessary.
Yeah, right.
That's why I'm saying,
right.
At least a 5-game suspension. I think he's going to get 2, but I think at least 5 games. And it really should be 10 games if they knock a player out for an extended period of time.
Right.
They should take that into consideration. If a player's okay, all right, whatever. But if a player's out because he got a concussion from a dirty hit,
right,
he should pay the price.
Yeah. Sean says put Kyle out there, but unfortunately, Kyle, the one time he went roller skating, he almost concussed himself because he went straight backwards. So it's not his shtick, unfortunately. If you can't roller skate,
so this is my last comment before the thought goes out of my head.
Yeah.
So I love Kevin Weeks, but Kevin Weeks is a little late to the party. He should be watching our podcast because Kevin Weeks posted something on Twitter that he got this big thing about, there's talk about, the Panthers working on signing Montour and Forsling.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I wish I had snapshotted it to read it to you. Like, duh. And, I wanted to. I have a good relationship with him, so I didn't want to call him out publicly. Probably should have sent him a private thing, but man, he's late to the party, boys. I mean, we've been talking about that's the top priority for Zito.
Right. Well, and look, on that note, we'll know that's going to answer all of the questions. I did a breakdown of the salary cap. If you got, not a lot of people watch that one. The bottom line is for Forsling, Montour, Lundell, and Reinhardt, give or take pennies, there's going to be about $19 million left once you get, and that is if you fill all the rest of the spots with the minimum wage guys like we have now. Okay. You give Lomberg a little bump. Lomberg needs a contract. He's making $800,000. Get him up to $1 million. So there's going to be basically $19 million for those 4 guys. I worked it out. The only way that you can give everybody a raise and not pay Reinhardt less than he's making now is if Forsling and Montour, and you're going to laugh. This is not me. This is just the numbers. This is just my math. The only way you can do it is if you give Lundell 3, if Forsling and Montour take 4.25, and then you can pay Reinhardt just what he's making now at 6.5. Now, I know I'm not saying that's what is going to happen.
And I'll tell you why.
The point was that's what would have to happen.
Okay, well, here's what my take. What is Uyghur making? 5.5?
No, 6.25. I looked it up yesterday.
All right, so he's making 6. If we could get Forsling and Montour together, like Taze and Kane signed, like Suter and Parisi signed. Right. The both guys signed the same contracts because they're both looking for 8 years. Right. They're both looking for the long term. I mean, Montour put 73 points on. What do you think his agent? They do. Right. It's like houses. They do it with comps. Like if Uyghur's getting 6.25, what do you think Montour's worth?
Right. Well,
Montour's a better player than Uyghur. So my thinking is, if we can get those 2 guys for 5.5, $6 million each, we've done okay.
Oh, I don't disagree with you there.
As far as the other guys go, I don't know how we're going to do it.
We're not.
I don't know how we're going to do it, but obviously Reinhardt's proven his worth. So do we want to Okay, do you think he's going to take less? So we got a major problem here.
What I got to in the video, I'll tell you what I got to in the video for Hagee. Because as much as you don't want to get rid of a 40-goal scorer, we ain't never going to afford a 40-goal scorer, and he needs a contract before Bob's is up. If you move for Hagee, you can sign Forsling, Montour, and Reinhart to the money they would want. It's out. That's not what I want to do. I want to keep everybody. But in terms of the numbers, if you pay Forsling and Montour even close to what they're worth, somebody's going to have to go, and I'd rather it be Verhaeghe than Reinhart.
Yeah, well, Forsling and Montour is a no-brainer.
Right.
We must sign those guys.
Right.
It's just a question of what kind of money are we going to have to dish out.
Right. Hey, Dustin.
And then
how you doing,
after we get them signed, then we'll have to just talk about.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I meant when I said we'll know, because by their numbers, if they get anything over 5.5, 6 million, somebody's going. It's just paint by numbers.
But again,
somebody's going to go.
I'm going to just talk about Montour. Montour, he put up the numbers.
Look, this six
and
is
if you compare him to other defensemen, mainly Mackenzie Weegar, who Calgary overpaid.
Yeah.
Let's face it, but that doesn't matter. They could find another defenseman that is making $6 million. You compare him, this is his agent. My boy is better than those two guys, and they're making $6 million. Why should I sign for $5 million?
Right.
But you never know.
No, I know. Look, like I said, I'm not suggesting that they have to or they should or anything like that. It's just simply by the numbers.
Maybe Zito could fashion the contract like he did with Bark. Didn't he give Barkov didn't they give him a big bonus?
I asked about that. It doesn't matter. You could give him an $80 million signing bonus and $1 million in salary. The cap hit is the average of the contract per year. So you can't get away with that in the NHL.
All right. Well, you know what, Eric? Yeah. Let's not worry about that right now.
Well, I mean, you brought it up, so I just made.
I know. We obviously have to worry about it, but I'm more concerned about, just having Dr. Jekyll show up every night.
They show up. Now we've gotten to the point now where Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde show up inside each game.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. I mean, the second period, was it was weak last night.
Right.
But I like the way we came out.
Yeah.
We got Boston's number for sure. I mean, we lost the game last night. Okay, but we should have won that game.
I know. And
so,
look, at least
we're a top 3 team. I don't want the wild card. We're a top 3 team.
Yeah. No,
so I'm hoping and praying that, by the time midseason comes around, everybody's back, and we don't have any more major injuries. I know I'm hoping and praying for something that probably is not going to happen. Somebody's going to get clipped.
Right. But, Justin's asking, if Montour doesn't put up last season's numbers, could we be getting him for less? I mean, yeah. I mean,
it's what
not a lot less.
It's what he brings to the team, man.
Right.
He's not our best defenseman. Our best defenseman is Forsling. All right, I've told you guys that. Yeah. But Montour is a better offensive player.
Right.
And that's big.
Right.
What he brings offensively. So yeah, he's going to get paid.
Right. And before anybody asks,
who's going to get paid? Those guys are going to get paid. And Zito's got a major problem. And you're right. Yeah. As much as it's going to suck, he might have to get rid of Reinhart.
You mean Verhaeghe?
What is Verhaeghe making?
Well, it's not what Verhaeghe's making 4. So if you cleared up his 4,
when is his contract up?
He's up the year before Bob's is up. So he needs a contract before Bob is gone.
All right, but we have another year?
We have another year. So
Reinhardt's up this year?
Reinhardt's up this year.
That's the one we got to concentrate on. So they're going to make a decision.
Right, they got to make a choice. Exactly. So that's the whole thing with Verhaeghe. And I don't anybody get me wrong. I want to keep them all. But are we going to be able to, you know, Verhaeghe's going to, if he keeps scoring, if he gets another 40-goal season, you're talking about $8-9 million player. We ain't never going to have that with Bob and Ekblad on the salary. So somebody somewhere, and before anybody asks about the buyouts, forget it. Especially the Bob.
Hello, Calgary. Calgary. I'll trade you Carter Verhaeghe, or I'll trade you Sam Reinhart for Nikita Zadorov.
I'm sure the
Johnny Boy Huberdeau.
Don't forget
that video was hysterical last night. Except I want to know something.
Yeah,
you wore a freaking Jamaican bonnet or whatever that thing was. Why don't you do a Jamaican accent, man? Hello, man.
I can't do that. I can't do that one, man. I can't.
You sound like a Hungarian gypsy. You guys gotta listen. Watch Eric's video, his recap last night. First of all, Halloween, it's a pagan holiday. So, you know, I don't even want to get into the whole thing with Halloween. So I don't celebrate Halloween. But Eric's video was really funny. And I'm going to get to my really last comments. Guys, there's a lot of people that watch this channel, okay? Especially on, Eric told me how many people were on the live stream. Listen, it takes a second to hit the subscribe button. Even if you don't, you know, just hit it. Eric needs subscribers. Eric needs likes. This is his livelihood, guys. He doesn't have another job. And YouTube pays shit. So the more the algorithms, which I don't really know, but the more subscribers you have, the more likes you have, it drives revenue. So listen, like I said, it takes a second. Hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 8,000.
Let's get to 7,100.
But let's get to 8. We're almost there. Yeah. And then, if you like this content, I mean, you don't like the channel, go to another channel. We're Flying Flunky Hockey, the #1 Panther fan podcast in the world. If you're a Panther fan, you like this content, hit subscribe. I'm out.
All right, Stu's out. Sean asked how YouTube was. You got to watch the beginning of the video. Stu told the whole story. It was eventful. It's right at the beginning. It's the first thing that Stu says.
It was fantastic. I've seen YouTube since early 80s. I want to say close to 50 times. Visually, the show was unbelievable. If you guys, I don't even know who's going to follow you two at the Sphere, but I've been to a lot of venues. Red Rocks is probably still my #1 just because of whatever, but this Sphere is like, it's incredible. The sound, the visuals. Go on YouTube and type in U2 Sphere. And I mean, I have a lot of clips on my phone and whatnot, but you know, type in The Fly, U2 Sphere, The Fly, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. The show was incredible, except I had a little back issue.
Yep. All right, everybody, we appreciate all the support. I'll be back a little bit later with the podcast, and then I'm gonna drop off the face of the planet because it's been a long 3 days. I need a timeout. Gotta get the dogs to the river. It got cold. It's like 37 this morning, so that should be fun. So
ouch.
Yeah. It was like 71 yesterday, and now we're in the 40s for the highs. So, all right, everybody, appreciate the support. We'll see you again real soon.